This video is brought to you by Big Owl Lubricants.
Big Owl Lubricants. Go big. Go Big Owl. Okay guys, I thought while I was waiting on my crankshaft, I'm going to go ahead and pull these axles out of this car. It's 8 3/4 in. This is Furyious. And I see a lot of metal shavings. I'm not sure what's going on there. And the axle is incredibly tight. And there's a lot of play there too. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see this. I think them axle bearings are probably wore out, which is one of the reasons I bought green bearings to put back in. So I had a hell of a time with the adjusters. I may have gotten it adjusted wrong. I just couldn't seem to get it right. So there's your adjuster rut. Oops, I'm on the wrong side. I'm sorry. But interesting. I'll have to get my magnet out, see if that's actually metal. Sure looks like it. See it right up in here? We may have found a problem early, which is good. But the shoes look good. A little bit of an edge rubbing here. That's, you know, when you drive a drag car at 110 mile an hour and you hit the brakes. He's gonna have that kind of stuff on his shoes, but other than that, I'm pretty happy. It does look like the shoes might be a good time to put shoes on it. They're awful thin. Alrighty, well, let me pull the other side and see what's going on over there. Okay, there is metal shavings on this one also. It's not as bad as the other side, so I don't know, guys. I don't know where that's coming from. I've never seen that before. It's not in the drum either. Nothing came out of the drum, which is odd. But yeah, it's definitely got a, look at the play on this thing here. That's something. Yeah, that bearing, these bearings are bad. So we caught something just in time, I'm hoping, without any damage. Just hope it didn't hurt anything. I'm gonna get some tools and pull this axle out. Okay, here's the bearings. These are the green bearings. The purpose of them is it eliminates the inner seal. It comes with a seal. You're not supposed to have to run a seal with them. And it eliminates the bearing preload adjuster. And there is some controversy on these. They make two different kinds. They had an updated kind. That's what these are supposed to be. But if that's not true, let me know, guys. I don't guess it matters. It's a drag car, but the newer design, you could turn left, right with the car and not hurt the bearing. The older kind would do that. You weren't really supposed to turn. You couldn't drive them on the street, in other words. Even though I've heard people say that they drove them on the street for years, but the newer kind is okay to do that. So Green Bearing Company, that's how that came about. That's the part number. I got these from Mancini Racing. So high performance wheel bearings. So this is supposed to be the trick. All right, folks. Let me pop that wheel on the axle on the other side and let's see what's going on over there with those metal shavings. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see the play. Let's see if I can get you in here. Look at that. Yeah, I think we're gonna find a bad chewed up axle bearing or something once we get in there. Let's grab a tool and pull it out and see what we got. Okay guys, so I got it all apart. I don't see anything wrong. There's definitely metal shavings everywhere. Good Lord. And they're coming from this flange here, and they're all, you can see metal shavings. So fortunately, when we put new bearings, I don't see anything wrong with the axle. It's fine. Just didn't get that end play adjusted right. I don't know why. I hit it with a hammer when I installed both axles to seat them. But I knew when I put those in, I actually called a couple of my buddies that have a lot of experience. And I mean, I've done some axles before, but they've done a lot more than I have. And they said run it. At that time, we were just wanting to get the car on the track. And they said, send it. That's the drag racing term for send it down the track. And I knew I was going to address this before we took the car back out. So yeah, I think I think you can see this metal backing plate here, or axle flange plate, is chewed up just a little bit. That's where it was coming from. It was rubbing on that. So this axle came out easy, just like they're supposed to. So after I get the new axle bearings installed and axle put back in, I'll wash this down with brake fluid. All right, let's head over to the other side. Okay, guys, this right here is what locks your. You see this little thing here with the little notches on it. All right, that's your end play adjuster, and this piece here locks it in place. See a little tag, and you lock it down with a lock nut that you access through this hole here. So as you turn the axle around, not that hole, but this big hole, as you turn the axle around, you can access that nut in there, and that's the one with the tang. So just so you know, you're putting them back without the green bearings, you got to get this end play adjusted correctly, and that is obviously way out of spec, but they said send it, so I did, and I think that's what caused my metal shavings. All right, let me finish tearing it down. Okay, guys, I don't know if you can see, there's a lot of shavings on this adjuster here. A lot of metal shavings. So she was clearly, there's your issue. That end play adjuster wasn't adjusted right, and it was rubbing. It didn't hurt anything though. So I got the axle out. Everything in there looks okay, but I'm gonna wipe the grease out just to be sure. Okay, guys, so I cut a split in it, and I've been whacking it with the chisel, trying to get it to come off, and that ain't happening. So what I use a stick here to kind of hold the axle. So I'm gonna heat it with this torch right here, and see if it'll expand enough it'll pop off that way. It should. Something's got to give eventually. I got the slits cut on both sides of it. Let's give that a shot and see what happens. Okay, guys, so I got got all that crap off. The torch did the trick. Still had to beat the hell out of it, but I was able to get it off. And I'm gonna put the new bearing on it. And the surface looks okay to me. I don't really see anything. The bearing's gonna ride in here. Oh, she is. Damn, axle's still warm. Little nick there I did miss one time and nick it. I don't think that's gonna be a problem. The bearing's gonna press down over that, and the bearing's not gonna move, so it's gonna presses down on it. So I think we'll be okay there. But one thing I do want to do, and I may do it after I press the new bearings on, you paint a stripe straight down the thing, and what that does, pull it out this fall when season's over, and just see if the stripe you painted is still straight or if it's crooked. If it's crooked, that means the axle's bent. That's not good. So it's just a way of telling. Axle may already be bent, but I doubt it. But let me clean it up, and let's go ahead and press these new bearings on this thing. All right, folks, I got the axle in the press. I'm getting ready to press the bearing on. And I put some ice around this thing, but I didn't really get it cold because I had so much heat in it, I guess. But we're gonna give it a shot, see what happens. And this is that new green bearing, so here it goes. I'll let you know how it turns out. All right, we got the bearing on. Now we're gonna do that lock collar. This piece right here, I heated it with a torch. We'll press it on right quick. Okay, guys, so I drew my line. You guys can see all that. And we'll put tape on both sides of this line, and then wipe that off and mark it. Paint it. Okay, I got my tape on, and all the way up to the splines. Got a little line there, so I'll take the some cleaner and just clean that black marker off, and we'll hit it with this yellow paint. A couple of coats. And there's the first coat. We'll put a second coat, and then we'll peel the tape off and leave me a nice little yellow stripe on my axle that I can easily see. Put it here in a little while, maybe later on this year. Okay, folks, there you have it. Yellow stripe, straight. New green bearings installed. I think we're good to go, guys. I'm gonna put a little weld on the back of my lug studs. And I think we're good to go. We'll work on the other side when we get a chance. Making progress. Hey guys, Bob here. It's Thursday morning. It's about 9:30 or so, and I was going to work today, customer work, but ended up getting that done yesterday. So I've got today off and tomorrow off, I believe. Don't have any more customer work lined up until Monday. So I wanted to get out here this morning early. It is hot. It is June the 2nd. It's been 95 the last 2 days with the heat index around 100, and I think today's same thing. So trying to save myself from having a heat stroke, so I'm gonna come here this morning, try to do some things, and we're still working on Furyious. Today's gonna be work on Furyious Day. So let me give you a little quick update, because I know this video is getting long. Let me give you a little quick update on what's happening here, because I haven't been out here in the shop, gosh, I guess about 4 days now. So here's what we've got going on. Okay guys, so the first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna try to clean all the grease and stuff out of it. Yeah, can't talk this morning. Clean all the bearing grease out of it. And once we get that, we'll get the old trusty Dremel out and start cleaning that off. And then start cutting these cases off. So just a little WD-40, nothing crazy. Let's just kind of get this thing good and clean. As clean as we can anyway. Okay folks, we got the old Dremel, and we're going to just cut into these casings here, and just to get this outer race, I guess you'd call it, on this bearing. We're going to try to cut it off and then cut this cage off so these rollers will come out. So that's what we're going to do right now, and let's see how this goes. Okay guys, so what's happened here, the Dremel bit is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and I got some others, but I want to try to save them. So it didn't quite go all the way through. I got maybe 3/16 of an inch here, and it's getting close to this flange, and I kind of want to save this flange. So what I'm going to do, I am going to try to take a chisel and see if we can't just punch it the rest of the way through with a chisel. Let's see what happens. I don't want to smell like gear oil all day. All right, there it comes. Okay, so we got it all the way through. So what I need to do now, see if I can spread that thing open enough. I don't think I can. Let me see. I thought I'm going to have to cut a slit on this side, but let me see if I can spread it open enough with some tools and open it up enough I can get it off without using the Dremel anymore, because she's getting warm. Let me try that first. Like I said, this is the first time doing this. I'm always taking these things to the shop and have them done. Trying to save a few bucks. Times are tough right now. So do it myself. That way I can say this car was built by me. Okay guys, I grabbed a couple old cheap screwdrivers, you know, old Chinese screwdrivers, and we're gonna see if we can't spread this thing open enough somehow. Don't want to use that Dremel no more if I don't have to. Well, it wants to spread open, but let me tell you what, I'll be here all day doing this too. Let me get the Dremel back out and just cut a notch on the other side. I'm gonna put you back on time lapse, guys. Did y'all see the chicken walk by? It was on time lapse, so maybe you didn't. I noticed something moving out of my peripheral vision. I looked. The damn chicken just came walking by. There ain't no chickens there. I don't have any chickens. My neighbors don't have any chickens that I know of. And clearly didn't seem to have a problem with me being here. So it's somebody's chicken. It's used to being around humans. Yeah, I've had dogs, cats, people, groundhogs, frogs, rabbits, turtles, snakes, even a coyote come up on me when I'm out here working, but I've never had a chicken. That's the first. Anyway, the Dremel's getting hot again, so and my water's getting hot probably, so let's put it over here. But yeah, I've got that thing cut through pretty good. Let's see if we can't finish it off with a little whack from the punch like we did the last one. Well, I didn't cut this through quite as good, so it's going to be a little bit harder. Hey, chicken, what are you doing? What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? You stay over there. Don't come over here. There it goes. Can y'all see him? Anyway, that worked. That worked easier than the last one, so I did something right. Alrighty. I'm going to turn you off and clean this bearing up a little bit, and we're going to work on getting it off. All right, guys, the cage, I was able to get a couple of roller bearings out, but the cage needs to be cut just a little bit more, and it'll peel away, and then we can get the torch out and heat these things up and pop them off. So I'm gonna do that now. I'll put you, yes, this should come off pretty quick. I don't think I need to put you on time lapse. Lord, I hope not. It should come out pretty quick. Okay, there it goes. Well, that popped off, so yeah, here it comes. Okay, I've seen guys on the YouTube channels do a better job than that. It didn't take near as long, but it's my first time. So yeah, we got all these little rollers out of the way. Anybody needs any rollers, they'll be on eBay tonight. I don't know if these things can be used for anything else or not. Probably not. But let's set all this stuff over here. Oops, I dropped one on the ground. That ain't good. Oh Lord. And that's, oh, there it is. That's amazing. I found it. All right, I'm gonna turn you off, and we're going to see if we can't knock this. I'll call this the. What am I gonna bring to? I don't know what I call it. Lock bearing, or the bearing lock, I guess is more accurate. Yeah, bearing lock. So, all right, let me do that. Let me cut you off, and then we're gonna put this thing in the vise and get a torch on it. Okay, guys. So we're gonna. I got the axle set up in the vise, and I'm gonna get the torch. Got a torch right here somewhere. We're gonna heat it up, and let's see if we can knock this lock collar off first. And once the lock collar comes off, I believe this piece here will come off next. I think it'll just slide off. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, let's do this. I know you probably don't have the best angle. I'm in the corner of my shop here. I'm probably gonna put you on time lapse. Lord, it's hot in here. I got the fan blowing on me too, and it's still hot. Let me get you on time lapse. Okay, guys, so I ended up having to cut notches with the Dremel right here, and cut notches on two sides. And what I did, that allowed it to expand open when I hit it with some heat and put the torch on it. I did the same thing with the lock collar. I put notches on it too, but I was beating the living hell out of it. It won't moving, as you can see. So we put some notches on it. That allows it to expand up when you put heat on it, open up a little bit, and it popped off a lot easier. So good. Now we'll let the axle cool off a little bit, and we'll come back and press the bearings on it. Okay, guys, so I am about ready to press these bearings on them. I had them sitting out here in the heat, the sun, for about an hour. So what I'm going to do now, they're pretty warm on the inside, so they should slide on pretty good. Now over here, I've got the axle. Remember that little portable air conditioner I purchased a while back? It's come in handy. It's good for stuff like what I'm doing right now. I've actually got it blowing cold air on this axle shaft, and I can feel it. It's definitely cooler down here than it is up here. So we're gonna let it blow some cold air on that. I thought about maybe packing it with ice, which probably wouldn't be a bad idea either. Matter of fact, I think I'll do that. Let me grab some plastic and bags, and I'll pack a little ice around it right quick, and then I'm gonna get the press set up. And so what it does, the cold will contract this steel, this metal, and the heat on the bearing expands it, so it should press on a lot easier. And it only goes to right here. It stops right here at this flange. And so there you go, folks. All right, I'll be back a little bit. Let me grab some ice. Okay, guys, so here goes. So probably gonna be in your way throughout much of it because of the camera angle. Sorry about that, but my shop's such a clusterfuck. Well, this goes like this. Let's see what we got here. Gotta have some way of doing this. Damn. Twice that thing caught me. All right, here goes. That's all she wrote. That's all she'll go right there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to compare this to the other axles, just make sure that they both went in the same amount. So I'm going to turn you off while I go grab that axle. I'll be right back. Okay, it looks good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the lock collar. Ooh, my knees are kind of wobbly, folks. And we'll stick it on next. We'll press it on. So let me go grab it. Alrighty. We still on? Yep, we're still on. Okay. And it'll press on till it hits the bearing. It locks the bearing in place. You're looking right here. All right. She's in. That job is done. Bearings are installed. All right, folks, I'm gonna turn you off. We're gonna go clean the axle and put a paint stripe on this axle also. Let's see here. Oops, wrong way. Let's put this way. Man, there's a glare out here. But it feels a lot better than it did a while ago. Let's see how we got to do this. Which one of these bubbles do I need to use here? I cannot see because of the glare. There we go. Uh-oh, we didn't get it straight, guys. Got a little curve to it. All right, let's fix that. Can't have that. Let's see, there we go. That's where we stopped at right there. Let's try this again. Here we go. I know the table's probably crooked. That looks better. Visibly see it's still a little crooked. Yeah. I'm gonna blame the glare. I cannot. Right here, last 3 or 4 inches. Alright, let's try this again. The table's crooked, guys. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks, you can visually, a while ago, you could visually tell it was off. So that right there looks, still got a glare, good Lord. All right, so now that we got that done, let's put some tape on it. on. And now this one. Get on there. Probably a better way to do this than the way I'm doing it. But I guess this will work. All right. Let's get the old paint out. Probably cut and splice some of this out. You get the idea. Don't really care if it runs. So far, I don't have any, which is shocking. Because it's going to run on the tape. All right. There you have it, guys. It's running there, but it's running on the tape. All right, let me turn you off here, and I guess you don't need to see it when I peel the tape off, right? When I go to put the axles in, I'll put you back on, okay? Okay, guys, this axle here is ready to go in. And so we're going to slide it in right quick. See what kind of problems we have. Hopefully it should go right on in, no problem. Just wipe it good, make sure. Popped right on in easy. I don't know how good you guys can see, it's dark back here. But yeah, she popped in nice and easy, no problems. Let's see if my yoke's turning. It is. Looks good, looks good. Let's put the nuts on it. Got a little bit of metal shaving, so that axle was having issues. So yeah, let's put the nuts on it here. We got metal shavings on it too. I am going to put you guys on time lapse.
It's only 8 seconds, guys. Just bear with me here. 8 seconds. It's all be done and over with.
All right, let me see if I can get some light on it. So we got a ratchet. We're going to tighten the nuts down. I'm not going to torque them right yet. Just going to get them tight. And I'm not going to sequence them. We'll do that when we do the torque. I really just want to get everything good and tight. Snug it up. That's all we're going to do. All right. So that's good and snug. That's good enough for right now. That just came off. What the hell was that? That was inside this socket. All right. So let me get you a little closer here, guys. Take you off this tripod. Okay. Can you see the brake shoes are wore out? It looks like they wore pretty even. That's a good thing. I was the one that installed those bad boys, so they wore pretty even. This one here is a little thick down here, but sourcing from my parts department, I found that. I think I've got this. That's the long shoe on this side, and I think I've got the short one. So probably need to put shoes on it too while I got it this far apart, and get some brake clean, just kind of clean it all up. So we'll probably do that tomorrow before I torque everything down. I want to get the other axle in tomorrow. Okay guys, both axles are in. They turn free. I don't have the brakes installed good yet, but I was going to put brake pads, brake shoes on it, but I sourced these from my stash and they don't fit. So we're going to go buy some brake shoes. But the axles, yeah, they spin fine. Everything's good there. So that should conclude the axle bearing. I hope you guys saw how difficult it was. So, hell no, I'm not doing that. Probably is in your best interest to take it to a shop and have them done by a shop, pressed on and off. But if you want to tackle it on your own and you've got plenty of time, you know, you're not in a rush, try it, give it a shot. Look at some of the other videos. Those guys did a lot better job than I did. This is my first time, and I was kind of studying as I went along. It took me 3 times as long as it should have. But anyhow, that will conclude the axle bearing and axle installation. And thank you guys for watching. Hit that thumbs up button. That helps the channel. It doesn't cost you a dime, and really helps the video get seen, helps the channel. Hit that like button too, please. And we're going to try to get this old hot rod on the track soon. Just a bit off way more than I can chew, I think, but we're getting there.